This weekend's my first race. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to drive this thing to work tomorrow with everything loaded up, and I'm going to drive directly to the track from work. It's a 3.5 hour drive, not too bad to get to a track. That's about average. There's some guys that live a lot closer, but the other tracks that they go to, they have to drive comparably the same distance. So here we go. We're going to load up the van. I'll show you a little bit what I load up, how I kind of pack the van full. There's actually only room for one more person after I get it filled up. Back when I was solely doing track days, we were able to get 2 bikes in here with our gear, and it used to fit comfortably. We weren't using tire warmers or anything like that. So let's pack the van. The first thing I'll load up, or it's always loaded, battery charger and tire pump. This is what I use. Works really well. You can pump the tire up, or if you have a dead battery, it'll jump your car or your bike. I've used it more than once or twice on a bike. Some guys will get to the track and their battery will be dead. Help them out a little bit, I'll let them use this. Or if somebody needs to pump the tire up to get the right amount of air pressure in, which is extremely important, I'll use this. I'll move the toolbox to the front of the van between the seats, and that's where it'll ride to the track. Now, if I need to use the tools for something like swapping out a clip-on or fixing a rear set, then I'll move the toolbox back to the edge of the back of the van and I'll work out of the box there. And this is pretty much what it looks like when it's loaded up. I have my bike, my fan, my generator. Since it is an older van that I'm driving, I'll make sure that the tires are up to pressure. You check the tire pressure just to make sure that you don't have a slow leak, that you didn't run over something. The tires on the van are brand new, and the load rating for the tires is way over the capacity of what this van could carry. The other thing I check is I check the oil and I check the coolant. Make sure you have plenty of brake fluid. I'll make sure that the lights work. You know, you don't want anything to go wrong. It's an older van, so it needs to be taken care of. And I'll make sure that I have my iPod. Traveling long distances, unless you have satellite radio, you don't know what radio stations are out there or what radio stations you might like. If you're adventurous, maybe you'll just scan through them. But I like to have my iPod. So I've managed to make it to a race. I came home. I also went to a track day. I'm sorry I didn't get any footage, but it's time to change the oil. I figured this would be something quick and handy for you guys to use. This is the crush washer. They recommend changing that every oil change. I get my crush washers through Amazon. They're quite a bit less expensive than what they are from an OEM shop, and it's just easier for me to order them and have them here in a few days. When tightening your pan bolt, always make sure that you torque it to the correct torque spec and make sure it's safety wired. So it's been a few weeks since the bike's been done. I didn't make it to my first race, which I feel kind of bad about, but the weekend really wasn't that great. It was raining. I think it was a high of 45 or 50 degrees, and I just didn't want to put up with that kind of weather. I was there last year, and it was the same deal, and it was not fun. So I did make another race and did fairly well, and I also went to a track day. No incidents, although there were a few close calls. So a guy did get some footage of me. It's pretty good footage from behind. I didn't have the GoPros on the bike, otherwise I would have had some footage. But this is of the Formula 40 race, and I actually placed first in that. I will put a link to his original video at the end of this one.